I have been with Teachers Pay Teachers for 2.5 years, and during that time, I feel like I've enjoyed a pretty good level of success. People are starting to ask me questions how I feel about certain things, what I would do in this situation, or what they can do to do this or that. And so I'm going to start addressing some of those questions. But first, I want to tell you the 5 things that I attribute my success to. And if you'd like to know what those are, then stick around. Hello, everyone. My name is Sherry from Rolling Acres Education. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if this is not your first time. And I want to start this video off with sharing some of the things I have done. I feel a little uncomfortable doing this because I always feel like it sounds like I'm coming off as bragging, and I hope that you realize I'm not doing that. I'm just showing you or sharing with you what I've done so that you will know that I at least know a little bit what I'm talking about. And so I have been with TPT since September 2021. Now, signed up for a seller's account in October of 2019, I believe it was, and I had resigned my teaching position, and I was gonna just do some subbing and work with VIP Kid and open a TPT store. But when I went to sub, they put me in right away put me in a interim position, and I just went interim position after interim position, and my TPT store just never happened. But I'm not going to go into the whole details. Most of you know my story, but in February of 2021, I did leave the classroom permanently to help raise my grandchildren. And so I needed my TPT store to work. Because of Emma's situation, a lot of things going on with her, I wasn't able to really get started on my store until September 2021. And in a little less than 2 years, I reached my first milestone of $20,000. I currently hit $2,000 at least every month. I've been doing that consistently since August, and so I'm making not just 4 figures, but at least $2,000, and mainly around $3,000 every month. I have been 98 or 99 percentile in the TPT rankings since they've been coming out. So, yeah, I feel like I am having some success. And I know that I want to share with you what I feel like has been the reason behind that success. And there's 5 reasons, that I feel are the most important. And the first one is a little bit different than the other 4. The last 4 are all things that anybody, anywhere, anytime, anything can do, okay? The first one also kind of is, but it's going to be based on you and what kind of products you want to sell and all that. And so the first reason, and there's no denying it, that the first reason I have done well is because I have what I consider to be a 4-star niche. And by that, I don't mean 4 stars like in a 4-star hotel or 4-star restaurant. I mean 4 stars in the sense that I believe there's 4 keys to predicting the profitability of your niche, and mine hits all 4 of them. Now, that doesn't mean my niche is better or that it's going to make more money in the long run. I just think that these are factors that can help you get off to a quicker start, help you be able to make money without marketing, but it's possible to make just as much money as me in the long run, even if your niche doesn't hit all 4 of these stars, okay? Mine just happens to do so, so I think that's one of the reasons I got off to a fast start without doing any marketing. You can make just as much money in the long run if your niche doesn't hit all 4 of these points. And what are these points? I've gone on them before, but I'm going to try to go real briefly. Number 1 is high awareness. You having a niche that not only do people know about and look for, but they know to look for it on TPT, okay? Now, if your niche is not something people know to look for or know to look for on TPT, doesn't mean that it's not something that is needed. It can be very much needed. It's just that teachers need to know, be made aware of the fact that, oh, I do need that, okay? But if you have a niche that is already, teachers are already looking for it and they already know to look for it on TPT, then that's 1 star. Number 2 is a large target audience, okay? I do holiday resources, which is a very large target audience, but I also do middle school subplans and middle school science subplans, and there are a lot of middle school science teachers in the U.S. and around the world. So That's 2 stars I hit. Number 3 is multiple product lines. Now, when you're going to try to see if you think your niche would be profitable, you don't even have to know what those product lines are. You can probably just kind of get an idea. I mean, I know that there are a lot of topics in middle school science, so there's all kinds of things that I can do, so many topics. And so I knew that, yeah, there's all kinds of things I can do. So that's 3 stars. And the 4th star is low competition, okay? So if you have a niche that has high awareness, a large target audience, multiple product line possibilities, and low competition, then you've got a niche that you can, have a really good chance of jumping in there. And if you're making good products that teachers need, then you've got a good chance of getting off to a good start and maybe not even having to do any marketing right away or at any time. Now, I think your niche is very important and can make a difference in how fast you start making money and how much money you can make before you have to really start marketing. But it is not the most important, because no matter how great your niche is, if you are not doing things, best practices, and using good strategies and actually doing the work, then it doesn't matter how great your niche is, because if you're not producing things and making them the best you possibly can, then you're not going to sell anything. So the second thing, and to me, this is it. This is the most important reason I believe I got off to a quick start and am doing well with TPT, and that is because I was just determined that I was going to do so. Please don't underestimate the importance of that. I know people think, oh, it's all about talent. Who's got the most talent? Who's, just got the personality, got this or that, the things that, you just think, oh, I just don't have that. No, it is not. My new saying, and I think I coined this, if somebody else said it, I didn't hear them, but I think success is not about what you can do, but about what you will do, okay? It's not about what you can do, it's about what you will do. And you will get better, your skills will improve, and what you can do will get better if you will do it, okay? You are going to have to work when you don't feel like it. Doesn't mean that you have to work 24 hours a day, but what I'm saying is that if you have on your calendar to work, you are going to work, even though you don't want to, okay? You need to schedule, prioritize, and guard. And I'm serious. You need to schedule time to work on your business, you need to make it a priority, and then you need to guard it. To me, that is the most important thing, okay, is that you're going to work when you don't feel like it. Number 3 kind of goes along with that. You have to let go of perfection, okay? You have to let go of this idea that I got to get it just right. What if I put it out there and there's a mistake on it and somebody criticizes me? Hey, let me tell you what happened to me just recently. I found out that we uploaded, I made a template for my middle school science resources. And what I did is I put all the kinds of different things we could do. Like we always have an informational passage. Well, then we have some kind of vocabulary, and there's different kinds of vocabulary, and I put all those different kinds of vocabulary examples on there. And then I put everything that we do, I put examples of all those things, and that's kind of a template. And somehow I uploaded that on a product. Oh my gosh, how did that happen? I have no idea, but it was horrible. I cannot believe I did that. I'm so embarrassed, but you know what? I'm still making money. I'm still making sales since then. And so it happened, all right? It's worst case scenario, deactivate the product, okay? You never, if someone purchased or downloaded a product, you never delete it, because when they buy that, they have lifetime access to that. And so I don't know about legally, but ethically, you can't delete that. You need to make sure that that's there so they can get to it. And if it's deactivated, people who bought it or downloaded it still have access to it, but nobody new can see it, okay? So you're going to make mistakes. So I guess number 3, the best thing to say is accept the fact that you're going to make mistakes, okay? But you've got to keep turning stuff out. My first products, I've deactivated them, and I'm seriously thinking about going back and reactivating a couple of them, just so that when you go to my store, you can see how, excuse my language, crappy some of my first resources were. But I just kept going and going and going and going until I feel like I have a good product. And that leads me to number 4, and that is to run your business with integrity. Now, there's some debate on this, and what I'm gonna talk about is what I feel like I need to do. It's not necessarily what's going to make me the most money, but I made a promise to myself and to God that I was going to try to run my business with integrity. And to me, one of those things is to give my users the best experience possible. So so often I go back, and even if I've gone over a product several times, I'm still going to go over it. And if I find a mistake, no matter how small it is, I correct it and re-upload that product, because I want my customers to have the best user experience possible. And if my resource is full of errors, that's not going to happen. Okay, it may be things that they can just look over and that they can say, oh, there's a mistake here, this is what this means, and they can still use the product and it may even still be worth the money. But to me, I don't like that. Okay, I want to keep making my products better and better to where my customer can have a error-free, I hope, product. Okay, so I go back and make sure that my products are the best that I can possibly make them. At one time, I wasn't very good, okay? But it didn't stop me. And I just kept going, and I just kept going. And then when the year rolled around and I'll go back to that product and I'll look at it again. Is there something I can do to make this product better? Okay, I've heard people say, I put my product up, and as long as it's usable, I don't go back and redo anything to it. I just keep going. And that's fine. That may actually be a better business practice, but for me, that's just what I decided to do. And my last key to success kind of has two parts to it. And before I say anything, I want to say that if I ever say anything on here that sounds like I'm putting down another TPT YouTuber or membership owner or course creator, anybody like that, please understand I certainly did not intend to, and call me out on it so I can correct it and make sure that it doesn't sound like that. Because I highly value everyone who's gone before me, even if I've maybe even passed them, or maybe I started after them. I am interested in what you have to say if you've been on TPT and have learned something from it, okay? So I don't want to ever make it sound like I am disregarding any of their advice, okay? I think it's important. That's one of the things that is a huge key to my success, is that I have followed the advice, strategies, guidance, journey, coaching, whatever you want to call it, of other TPT. And if I look like an angel, it's because the sun's starting to come in through here. I apologize. I should have done this earlier. But anyway, so I follow their advice, but part two, I let their journey guide my journey, not dictate it, okay? And every one of them would agree with me, okay? They would tell you, don't let my journey dictate your journey, let it guide your journey, okay? And so I have made decisions that my coaches haven't agreed with, okay? Marketing. I went 2.5 years basically without marketing. I still don't really have a marketing aspect, because I may make $5 to $10 a month off of my email list, if that, okay? So I believe in following those who went before you, but that I also believe there's times when you have to make a decision that this is not what I'm going to do, okay? I'm going to have to go this way. And so, and here's what I want to say to wrap all this up, and this is the most important thing. Everybody's journey is different, and we may focus on different things at different times, but in the end, we can all end up in the same place. And let me give you a perfect analogy, okay? I have 10 children. I taught every one of them to read, every one of them. And I had some of them that started early, and just like, I look back and I'm thinking, did I teach them to read, or did they teach themselves to read? Because I don't even really remember teaching them to read. I have a couple of kids like that I'm like, when did I teach them to read? It just seemed like almost like they could pick up a book and read, okay? Then I had a couple that were not so great and did not want to learn to read. I had one that would just refuse. He would just sit there beside me on the couch, and he just would not read, wouldn't do it. And then I had one that used to stand on his head while he's reading, hold the book up, and I was like, I don't care, do whatever you want, just if you'll just read to me, okay? And let me just say that all 10 of my children are avid readers, and they all, by the time they got to the second grade, were all on the same level as those that had gone before them, okay? The great readers and the ones that didn't start out so well, they were all about on the same level when they got around the second or third grade age, okay? So they all learned to read, and they are all avid readers now. They love to read, okay? So even though each of their journeys was a little different, they all learned to read. They all learned to read well, and they are all very successful readers. So even though your journey may not go exactly like other TPTers, you may go a little slower. I think that if you do what I stressed in the beginning, be productive, be persistent, be consistent, be determined that you're going to do this, okay? Run your business with integrity. Make sure that you are giving your buyer the best experience possible. Follow the lead of others, but make your own gut decisions about what's best for you, okay? And just remember, you've got this, God's got you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.